everybody, and welcome back to this Star Wars Expanded Universe, narrated by Disney or Lucasfilm, whichever way you slice it. Legends. Same shirt, same day, just so you guys don't think that I'm homeless, and that's Discord if you can hear that. So, got a bit of a mixed bag for you, so let's get into it. Today, we have basically, I was going to write down specific ones, but it's a pretty good portion of the book, so you don't need it, but if you want a bunch of short stories around the time of episode 5, then Galaxy Guide number 3, you would just read all those little blarbs throughout all of the guide. It's, by West End Games, it's just a whole bunch of little stories. There's one about a rebel having an account of the Wampas coming on Hoth. That's kind of scary. You have one about Lando talking about when he first met Vader, stuff like that. There's even one with Wedge Antilles. He doesn't really act like he will down the line, but still there's a story with Wedge Antilles. It's not long, it's shorter than a short story, it's usually on a single page, but these are additional things you can read if you feel so inclined, which you don't have to pay for. You can find these all and download them onto your Google Drive from StarWarsTimeline.net. We have the TIE Fighter video game. I have nothing much to say. Thrawn's in it, that's kind of cool. You do a bunch of missions, and you stop another Imperial trying to mess up some things. That's basically it. Steel Chronicles, which is kind of the inverse to the Farlander papers for the X-Wing game, is kind of the same thing. It's kind of a manual talking about the Empire side of things. And we do follow a different character this time, and we kind of see things from the Empire's perspective, where we get the blarb about why the Empire's good. There was vast corruptions in the Senate during the Old Republic, and why this is right. And it was interesting. It was a decent little thing that you can read. Also, Star Wars Galaxy 6, Hunting the Hunters, by Bill Smith. If you can hear that, I apologize. It's there. It's like 10 pages. If you want it, it's there for you. We have the Battle of the Bounty Hunters pop-up comic by Ryder Winham. It just shows Boba being stopped by a couple bounty hunters on his way to Tatooine to give Han to Jabba. Of course, this doesn't exactly fit because Shadows of the Empire kind of also covers this. Just shove it around here. Moving on. It was fun though. We have Star Wars Tales, number 15. 15. Lucky Stars. Girl power? Leia goes on this mission because she has to retrieve some information or something on this planet with a bunch of women, because women are cool, which is fine, but they're all drawn very sexually. Leia dresses up in a super sexual outfit. It's like a dress, but or maybe it's not the outfit that's sexual, it's just they really emphasize things. She gets flirted with by a wolf man, and sorry, you could hear that, I apologize. But that's taken care of. Oh. Well, anyway, as I was saying, definitely a skip for me. Did not enjoy it. Star Wars Adventures: The Will of Darth Vader. It's I don't like the art. the main guy I found very annoying. And he's like, "You're just a puppet. You're just a puppet, Vader. You're not a master of anything." It's been done before. I think we even saw this in the Dark Times comic with Celeste Morn with the Vector crossover, and him realizing that if he took the talisman, he would just be a slave to another master. So it's like, it's this it's been done. This whole like idea, that I don't know. It's just nothing in here. The art was not very nice. I don't like the art personally. I don't care for the story. It just, it just, I just don't care about it. I don't really enjoy this one. I've enjoyed pretty much all of Star Wars Adventures, but not this one. Emperor's Trophy from Star Wars Galaxy magazine. It's 2 pages. It's essentially confirming, just has Vader pick up Luke's hand and lightsaber, gives it to the Emperor as a trophy, and it's sent to Wayland because Thrawn trilogy and Luke. That's about it. That's the reason this story exists. It's fine. Now we get to Marvel Comics issues 45 to 49. So we get to the first big, and one of the few, because there's not many, contradictions in the EU, which is this. Luke has a lightsaber, which he shouldn't have one, or not the same exact one, which there's no indication that he's made a new one. It seems to just be the one he's always had in the Marvel Comics, which is the one that he lost in episode 5 when his hand got chopped off, that Vader picked up. And even in the art for Emperor's Trophy, it's not just Luke's hand he picked up the lightsaber that the hand was grasping onto. So it just doesn't make sense. That being said, the overall story of the comic is fine. There is a super big, powerful probe droid, and Luke's got to stop it. That's fine. I have no problem with that. It's just the lightsaber. So, like, in the only way for my, like, I have to do, like, the Filoniverse thing, like the Clone Wars era show stuff, where I just have to, like, it's like a vibroblade or something. It's not a lightsaber, because he can't have one yet. And that's just kind of what I have to do to remain sane. Issue 46, drugs, which is what the writers had to be on. So, Lando and Chewie end up falling into another dimension because of something with the ship. And in this other dimension is some weird little frog midget man who used to fight against the Empire during the early days. So, like, during the Dark Times. He was fighting the good fight, supposedly. And he became a pacifist once he came to this other realm, and he could create utopia with the thought of his mind, but his evil thoughts he has to leave in the wilderness. And so that manifests as, like, monsters and stuff. Weird, but we also have Devil Worlds, so I guess it works if we're counting Devil Worlds, but at the same time, it's just bizarre. It's not bad per se, but I don't really like it either. Like, I'm not trying to be too negative, because most of the Marvel comics that I've read so far from the 70s to early 80s, I have loved. Even the UK Weekly, with all the cheese within those, I've enjoyed them immensely. I've gotten such pleasure out of them. But 48 it's just really weird, man. Like, I don't know. And then there's a whole thing, Matt Wilkins talked about it, where, like, behind the scenes, the author was actually pissed because Lucasfilm denied Lando agreeing with the whole pacifist philosophy in a series called Star Wars. Like, bro, what are you on? And this whole story is just, I mean, it's not a contradiction or anything. Weirder things have happened, but I just, it's just a weird one for me. Moving on, 47, Droid World. This is also like a audio that you can listen to, but I think that one's based off like a children's book or something of the same idea. I don't know. I just know that there's an audio version of this. It's fine. C3PO and R2D2 go on a little adventure. And, kind of harkens back to the old droid show a little bit. It's nothing great, but I enjoyed it enough. It's fine. Issue 48, The Third Law. There's marveled cheese, and then there's retarded. I just talked about issue 46, where there's the other dimension or whatever. That's bizarre, that's weird. That's still more consistent and more digestible than issue 48. We have Vader not acting like himself, acting like a Saturday morning cartoon villain as Leia's trying to get, funding from this, I guess neutral planet. But Vader comes in and he's like, well, I'm going to swindle these guys. It's like, you're Vader. You can get whatever you want. And didn't, like, literally a few days ago, maybe a little bit more, did you not just want Leia and Chewie? So why don't you jump at the opportunity to grab her and take her away? But instead you're just, like, playing this game and being like, I'm pure evil. And I don't know, man. I just thought this comic is, if I'm being completely honest, and you know me, I'm the positive guy trying to find positivity in almost all the stuff I read. It's just garbage. I hated this issue. There's no redeeming qualities to me about it. I did not enjoy a single second reading this one. Sorry. Then we have issue 49, The Last Jedi. So we have a bad movie, in my opinion, called The Last Jedi. We have a bad novel by Michael Reeves called The Last Jedi. And then we have this comic called The Last Jedi. Does it follow the trend of being bad? You would think by the tone of my voice and by the rest of this video, I'd say yes, but no, this one's actually pretty okay. Still, a bit weird, but it's that Marvel charm, They are on this. Well, let me start off. There is this bug-like race person who wanted to be a Jedi in the old days, but he was rejected for whatever reason. Maybe he was too old in the prequel Jedi Order, I don't know. But he tried to live his life to the best of his ability to be like that, kind of like the old guy from the earlier Marvel issues. But he got injured, and so now he literally just thinks he is a Jedi. And Luke makes fun of him, calls him like a stupid loser. Okay, he doesn't say that, but he's not very nice to the guy. And there's this whole plot with this prince and the empire on this planet. I didn't really care about that part. Luke does get to kiss a fairly attractive Imperial lady, so that's one up for you, Luke, I guess? I don't know. But at the end, the non-Jedi that called himself a Jedi sacrifices himself for Luke, and Luke feels disheartened that he mistreated the poor alien and says, we'll always remember you or whatever, and may you be one with the Force or whatever, so it's a nice little thing. It's a fine comic. I don't have issues with it like I do with issue 48. It's fine. And then we have Star Wars UK Weekly, issues 149 to 150. Or 149. There's this little monkey dude with a skull, and the Empire sends it to mess with Luke, and he has visions of, all of his friends dying, but he eventually stops the monkey, and victory for the hero. It's weird. But it's fine, I guess. But that's pretty much it. So pretty mixed viewings here, but it is what it is. I think this is a dark spot in a little middle area here with the expanded universe. Not really my cup of tea for a good portion of it, but I'm hoping moving forward it'll be pretty great because we have a lot of stuff to look forward to in the Marvel comics. We still haven't even gotten to Shira Bree, which, Lumaya and everything, and it's a whole thing that hasn't even happened yet. So I have faith that this series will pick up steam again, moving on with issue 50 and beyond. So I'm still looking forward to it. And we got Shao's Empire and stuff, so. But up next, I have One Star Wars Adventures comic for you. And I'm probably just going to do it as a dual video because I don't usually do movie reviews, but nobody talks about them. And they are outside the original trilogy. So, I must talk about it. Which is, next time, we shall be talking about Ewoks, Caravan of Courage, and Battle for Endor. Until then, guys, may the Force be with you.